Hello, my lovelies. This is going to be your weekend shadow work. We're going to see what the current situation is and what we can do about it. All right, we're going to start with the light side. Let's see what our current situation is. All right, so dealing with some heartbreaking situations and pain. We need some forward movement in this situation. Things have been stuck and stagnant. They're going to start to move forward. And there's potentially a new offer from the divine coming in with your finances. Could come in rather quickly. Could be from a fire sign as well. Might have an offer for you. It's a little flighty energy, kind of like a player, so be cautious with that. Queen of Wands. I feel like he might have mommy issues. This is somebody who is kind of controlling. The fire sign is definitely somebody who is very confident, very independent, but she might not want her son to necessarily be that way. So you could be dealing with like mother-in-law influence. You're at some sort of crossroads. You need to decide what you want your future to look like and then take steps in order to actually make that a reality. You might be picking a new path. You might be planning things for your future. It might involve travel, and this is something that you need to really decide what you want. There is the possibility for things to go forward. You also need to let go of a heavy burden. I feel like you need to finally break this chain, something that has really held you back, and it could be a relationship because of influences from other people. What else do we have? All right, Ten of Swords. It's a very heavy burden. There's been a lot of toxicity, a lot of backstabbing and betrayal. So definitely something that you do want to release and let go of. All right, let's see. What is our obstacle that we're dealing with in our current situation? All right, Seven of Cups. Too many choices and you need to decide, but you haven't decided. Remember that indecision is still a decision. Even if you think you haven't made a decision, the lack of moving forward is actually creating stagnancy in your life. All right, there's some sort of love offer that's coming in that you're going to ignore. I feel like because you're still dealing with playboys and players. So if you let this person go, even if you have feelings for him and it's meant to be and they come back into your life, you can rekindle things. If they don't, it means that it was something that you should have let go of to begin with. There's some sort of fresh opportunity trying to come in. Again, we have some sort of decision and lack thereof right now. So your indecision is really blocking what it is that's trying to come in, and you definitely have a blessing trying to come in. Eight of Cups. You know you need to walk away from this, but for whatever reason, you're not yet. So for whatever reason, you're still holding on to this. Whatever the reason is, you need to finally resolve it and let go. All right, what else do we have for our obstacle? The Sun. So normally this would be the happiest card in the deck. You could be dealing with a Leo. Again, we had fire sign energy with the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Wands. And the Sun is in the reverse or in the shadow side. So this is a card indicating you could be dealing with things like depression, not feeling good enough, unworthiness, things like that. You've got to shift your perspective. There is still happiness to be had. Seven of Coins. I feel like you really do need to throw in the towel. Normally this would be a caution card to not throw in the towel, but I feel like on something that you know you need to walk away from, this is really indicating the opposite, that you actually do need to throw in the towel and let it be, let go of it once and for all and move in a new direction. The Hierophant. Your spiritual side is really telling you that it wants you to connect. And this is also a card of ascension. So it's like until you master the lessons at this level that you're currently on, you're not going to be able to ascend to the next highest level. Think of it like how we ascend in grade levels. So you have to master everything in the first grade to ascend to the second grade. You're on one stuck stagnant level because you have not learned the lessons that Spirit is guiding you to learn. And once you master these lessons and you get them, finally get them, you're going to be able to release what isn't serving you and move forward into something that is a whole lot better for you. It's stubborn Taurus energy. So I feel like you're really holding on to something out of sometimes sheer stubborn attitude. And so this is a card indicating you might need to mellow that. It's also a card of tradition, and in the shadow it's about breaking tradition. So maybe you want to get married but you don't want to do it in a traditional way. Maybe there's things that you need to walk away from because they aren't bringing you happiness right now. And so you need to go in your own direction and walk away from the things or people or circumstances that are really standing in the way of your true new beginning. What else is the obstacle? All right, so letting go of things. It needs to be final. Something needs to end and it finally needs to change. It could be within a marriage for some. I feel like you might be ending a marriage in order to finally chase your dreams or to follow your true happiness. Let's see what else we have going on. What is the action that we need to take in this reading? All right, Five of Serpents, Five of Coins. So this is indicating that money issues are a struggle right now, and for most people they really are. But it's also a card indicating you could cut something off, leave them out in the cold, block them, and kind of carry on with life. You could also be in a stage of recovery where you're recovering from injury, illness, or surgery, and you might need that time alone in order to really reflect. All right, the Fool. So this is the action. We need to be able to take a leap of faith. You might be dealing with an Aries. This is something where the only caution is look before you leap, but you've got to be willing to take a step out of your comfort zone and to try something different, or you're going to be in the same pattern all over again. Three of Coins. This is indicating you're going to need help not only from source, that you also are going to need to seek assistance from others. So remember that teamwork will make the dream work, and you're going to have to learn to work together or collaborate with others in order to actually be successful, especially in your spiritual or financial matters right now. All right, the Lovers. So a decision needs to be made in love, and this is really the action needed. Do you want a commitment with this person? Do you really picture them as your future, your significant other, till death do you part in binding contract in marriage? Or is this somebody that you really do need to cut yourself loose from, and you need to carry on in a new way, in a new beginning? Four of Wands. You're burnout, you're exhausted, you're overthinking all of these things. It's time to take some rest. You also need to make sure that you are building things on a solid, stable foundation. The Four of Wands is a card of celebration. It's good news coming. I feel like for some of you, you may buck the system and just go elope with your significant other. That this is how you start to rebuild a solid, stable foundation. This is how you get out of feeling really depressed and really down in the dumps, is that you make a fresh start and take a leap of faith by yourself with your significant other. And maybe you have to eliminate there being so many people in your business and just do what's best for the two of you. It's going to resonate for a couple of people, I feel like. Queen of Cups. You need to nurture this connection and nurture yourself. The Magician. You can manifest the life that you want, and you can make things positive, and you can use the element of surprise to your advantage. So it may be quite a shock when somebody tells you, yeah, we just went off and we got married over the weekend, and we didn't tell anybody. We didn't need to. It was just us, and we were happy about it that way. So manifest the life that you want. All right, 10 of Cups. So you're definitely thinking about commitment and marriage, and this is what you're manifesting. You're working towards your goals. So the action needed. What is our final card? Yep, overcoming toxic cycles, toxic bonds, toxicity with all parts of life. So codependency, addictions, things that leave you feeling stuck, trapped, or bound, overcoming these obstacles that are leaving you stuck. All right, Judgment Day is coming, so you're able to transform this situation with action. This is the Phoenix, and so the Phoenix rises from the ashes. Anything sent to defeat you will not succeed. You're going to transform the situation, transmute the energy, and transform things into a much better reality. It's also karma being dealt. So all the naysayers, all the people meddling in your life, they're going to get what's coming to them. Could also be dealing with courts, contracts, and legal issues going in your favor. It may not go in someone else's favor. All right, the Nine of Wands. You've really been in your head, or you're really guarded about this step forward. And I feel like that's really where this hesitation comes from, that you've been hurt in the past. Could be a previous partnership that really burned you. And definitely something where I feel like this partnership that you're currently in, that you want to go forward, is something that's totally different from what you've experienced. And that's why you've got to learn to let your guard down. It's also an indication that you really need to pay attention to what's going on around you, and that you need to focus on the matter at hand. So focus on what you do want, not what you don't want, and try and bring things into the positive. All right, we have the Seven of Swords. So there's definitely some sneaky, underhanded people around you, manipulators, liars, cheaters, and people who are trying to sabotage your entire happiness and your future. And this is a card indicating that you do want to pay attention, that you need to make sure that you either eliminate these people, or that you keep a very watchful eye on what's going on and what's being said, because not everyone has your best interest at heart. Your final card for action, the Eight of Cups. Walk away from what no longer serves you. Whether it's a relationship, whether you have to cut people off because they're toxic, whether you finally need to maybe make a stand for yourself and eliminate people who are trying to sabotage you. You're going to know where this resonates in your life. All right, our outcome. We have the Three of Wands. So your ships are coming in, but something has them delayed. I feel like it's the indecision. Once you make the choice of what you really want, your ships come in, and it's like things all of a sudden transform. And I feel like by leaving the toxicity and the negative mindsets behind, all of a sudden it opens a door for success. Yes, victory. So this is also a card of like a hollow victory. In the shadow side, it's like you're getting recognized, but maybe it was sooner than you expected, or for things you didn't anticipate. I feel like you stand out from the competition for whatever reason, and a long fought battle is finally going to be a victory in your favor. So don't lose hope that things are changing for the better, and in the shadow element, things kind of happen in a surprising way. So maybe you post on social media and one of your posts finally like goes viral, or you become famous for some reason. There's some sort of recognition that throws you in the spotlight and gains you a victory this week. All right, Knight of Wands. So again, we have Mr. Wishy-Washy, Mr. I don't know what I want, and I'm just here playing games. And so you might have to eliminate Mr. Wishy-Washy. You might have to get rid of the players that are in your life, the people that don't want a loving commitment, somebody who just wants to play games. If that's not what you want, and I would assume most people don't want people to play games with their heart and their mind, that you're looking for something solid and stable. So let go of the things that aren't that and start looking for what you do want. All right, Page of Coins. So this is somebody who is maybe a little ill-equipped to kind of know what they're getting themselves into, maybe lacking a little maturity. It's also somebody who still has a lot of learning to do. And so this person is a lifelong learner. It's also a card indicating that there could be travel involved, or that there's hesitation around travel. And I'm also seeing that there needs to be some movement on this, that this person may need to actually like leave the nest, or this person may need to like stride out into new territory and try new things. It's like there's something that's holding them back from not being able to actually make a foot forward. All right, Queen of Swords. She's very narcissistic in this energy. She's very cutthroat, she's very opportunistic, and she's somebody who you don't want to be on her bad side. She's calculating, she's ruthless. She's going to take a step forward, and she's going to eliminate the things that are distractions or hindrances into her life. And if you are one of those things in her life, she's going to eliminate you by any means necessary, whether that's blocking communication and cutting you off, whether that's strategically planning and maybe going forward into a scenario where she knows she won't get hurt. It's very protective energy, but it's also somebody that's an authority figure and very boss-like energy. So you want to be cautious with her, especially if there's a lot of toxicity around her. She's going to start making moves to eliminate these things. All right, 7, 9 of Cups. I can't count Roman numerals. You guys know that. So we're in deep, heavy emotions. This should be a time of celebration. So why aren't you happy? Is there things that are out of your control that are causing this? Are you needing to shift your perspective and your mindset? Are there other influences that are causing like anxiety and things like that instead of a celebration? The 9 of Cups is typically seen as abundance and emotional fulfillment. So did something happen to stop that from coming in, or are you self-sabotaging in this situation? 7 of Swords. Again, we have people that we cannot trust, and we're finally starting to see that for what it truly is. I feel like strong boundaries are really needed in this situation, and that if people are walking all over you and they're manipulating you and lying to you and being really sneaky and underhanded, that you're going to put a screeching halt to it. You're going to use these swords and you're going to cut these things away, because what you're truly looking for is a lot of happiness and abundance going forward, not a lot of lies and manipulation. All right, 4 of Swords. So we need some time to reflect. We need some time to rest. We're burnt out. We're tired of fighting these battles. It's time to finally make some progress forward. So let's see what we have for our outcome. All right, the Hermit. So you need some time to reflect. Could be dealing with a Virgo. It's really important that you do the soul searching, the shadow work, and you take the time to really decide what you want out of life. Do you want a happy, healthy marriage? Do you want to be successful? Do you want to just be left alone? You have to decide what it is that will work for you, and then stand your ground. Very much, you need to stand your ground. Don't let people walk all over you. Don't let people manipulate you. Don't let people sway you into their agenda. You need to make sure that it works for you and what you're actually looking for. So make some strategic moves. Do some planning. Do some soul searching. Stand your ground. Have some firm, harsh boundaries. And then make your move. And the Emperor is very calculated. So he's not going to go about anything half-assed or without thinking about all of the possible outcomes and scenarios before he acts. He's logical, he's strategic, and he's making calculated moves. So you need to do the same. Be logical, be strategic, and make calculated moves. Decide what it is that you want, stand your ground with firm boundaries, and then move forward. All right, we have the stars. Don't lose hope that some sort of wish fulfillment is coming in divine timing. It's Aquarius energy. The stars is really about pouring into your own cup while we wait for divine timing to actually take effect and happen. And all things will coordinate at exactly the right time. I almost feel as if the divine is the Emperor and he's calculating the moves behind the scenes in order to align all of our hopes and wishes for our ultimate highest good and happiness. All right, yes, so we have the sun. So things are definitely changing for the better, but you need this time to reflect and really create the boundaries that you want so that you can make these strategic moves in order to open up the door for your wish fulfillment. I do feel like marriage is coming for some of you. It might also involve children in your future, but again, we finally get out of the negative side of the sun. If you can see it, my camera's moved. We get out of the negative energy of the depression and the doom and gloom, and we're finally seeing things in a new light. We had to make some adjustments and changes to let go of the toxicity in order to do so. All right, Page of Serpents. So some new opportunities coming for you in work. It's also something that could really change things for the better. Maybe you're changing jobs will also help improve things for you. More money, maybe a better environment, and things that are just all around better. So you might be traveling or relocating for this job. It's also a chance for you to start maybe your own business and work for yourself. Knight of Cups. We have our knight in shining armor who's a little bit insecure or a little bit lacking confidence. He wants to come forward. He's chivalrous. He's romantic. He's old-fashioned. He has a lot of love to give. He's just got to gather the courage in order to say so. And Page of Wands. So more flighty energy. So out of the two, we have a page, a knight, a page. So the knight is a little more mature than either of the pages. The Page of Wands is somebody who's very in and out, very player-like. The Knight of Cups is somebody who is actually wants to be there. He wants to show you all the finer things in life. He wants to give you a positive outcome. He's just nervous of the competition. When he finds his courage, he's unstoppable and he's very romantic. So we also have the King of Swords. So pages, knights, not ideal for long-term commitment. The King of Swords is not very emotional. He's very analytical. He's also somebody who could be an authority figure, maybe like a parent, maybe a boss, and he's also somebody who will eliminate things. He commands respect and authority, and he's going to get those. He's also going to think very logically and make strategic moves in order to get exactly what he wants. All right, the High Priestess. It's crucial this week that you listen to your intuition and where it's guiding you. You need to connect to source, you need to connect to your intuition, and you really need to see what it is that it's telling you. I promise you the answers will become clear. They will be, but you're going to have to take that time alone, go into hermit mode, and really figure out what it is that you want. All right, we have Ace of Cups. So I do feel like there is potential for a new love opportunity to come in. It could come from several different sources. It could come from somebody who's flighty. It could come from an emperor. It could come from a king, or it could come from your knight in shining armor. Only you're going to know which one is right for you. So weigh your options carefully and don't settle for less than what you deserve. In the meantime, you need to take some time out for yourself and you need to rest and recover. You are burnout, you're exhausted, there is a lot going on that you're trying to deal with, and sometimes you can't put things off. So delegate. The things that you don't have to take right now and you don't have to do right now, wait. And the ones that you do have to take on right now, make sure that you prioritize what is the most important and what can maybe be put off for a little while so that you can take some time to rest. All right, what else do we have? It's time to look within. The cosmic mirror tells us that we have to take a harsh, long look at ourselves in the mirror and decide, reflect. What is it that needs to change within ourselves? We are the only one who has the power to change these things. So take a look, take some inventory, and see what it is around you in your own life that you have the power to actually change things, and then make a decision on what it is you want to do. It looks like you need to think about these things in a logical way before you actually act on them and get out of your mind. It's time to make a clear decision on what you want to do going forward. What else is hidden that we really need to know before we make this decision? All right, so the 9 of coins. So your abundance is being hindered by the inability to make a decision. It could be a job offer that you won't see coming. It could be something very lucrative that pays off. But until you make a decision on what it is you really want, I don't think it's going to come in. Your final card. We have the Queen of Serpents. So she's the Queen of Coins. She's very she's very healing, earthly. She's very earthly. She's an earth angel. She truly is. She's a mentor to others. She's somebody who is very business oriented. And I feel like she could be a mentor to you. It could be you if you dig down deep. That maybe you're the true healer. Maybe you're the one who's going to help you figure out all of these things that you need to accomplish one by one. Prioritize, get yourself grounded, rest where you need to rest, and make some strategic moves going forward. I hope that helps, guys. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you back here next week.